Hi, we're back. It's Chris and Derek from Penny's Hot Rods and Customs, working on the 52 Studebaker. Today, we got the 318. Derek bought this off of a guy. It was a driving car. It was a 68 Monaco. So we got it off of him. He's got all the he gave us the whole wiring harness, which we're not going to use. So today we're not going to completely rebuild this. We're basically going to give it a paint job rebuild. I'll pull the valve curves off. We're not going to use these. We got nice aluminum ones. Um, all the accessories are obviously going to come off. The intake's going to come off. We're changing that. The oil pan we got to change. We'll take a bearing or two off just to inspect it. But everything looked, well, it ran and drive. Derek already took a couple of his plugs out, and they look excellent. So we're just going to check a few things, basically re-gasket it, clean it up, paint it, and put it in. So I'm gonna start stripping this today, and then start cleaning stuff that we're gonna reuse and paint. So that's exciting stuff. So I probably won't show all that. So in the meantime, Derek's been working on sanding Bondo. He's got the just driver's door is done. The driver's cab corner is done. Um, Getting ready for high build, and then he just got to do that cab corner. I think this door is done.
Yep.
So that cab corner, and then the dash needs a little bit of work. Just because the factory glove box is spot welded in it, waved, and it's a little wavy. So fixed up a few things.
I'm pitted badly.
Yeah, and this was someone had ground the paint off it, and then figuring they're gonna work on it, but then it sat for another 15 years, so it was quite pitted. So that'll take out all the little pits. It wasn't rust that rotted through or anything, so that's what we planning on doing today. I probably won't get the engine 100% clean today, but it should be stripped, and we still got to buy a gasket kit for it because we'll re-gasket everything. We probably won't, well, we may use these. We have another set. These are, apparently these are, 273 heads?
Yeah.
We're using the heads. We probably won't use the exhaust manifold. This probably will clean up and we'll be good to go. We have to change the oil pan because that's a front sump. We need a rear sump, so we have another one from another block. That's no problem. So it'll be changed. We got a aluminum intake for a 4-barrel. We'll put on. It's got a good distributor. It's a points. We're gonna keep with the points. We're fine with points. It's simple. No problem with that. So I'm gonna start getting rid of all this stuff, and yeah, Derek can go back to sanding.
Oh.
Exciting. So we'll show you progress, but there's no sense showing sanding Bondo or pulling off wires.
There's lots of Bondo dust on the ground.
Yeah. So we were hoping to get it primed this weekend, but it's just a little bit more work than we thought. So maybe next weekend, since we only work on it during the week, or weekend.
Providing if someone else's vehicle doesn't break down next weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and yeah.
We don't have a
No,
schedule.
last 2 weeks I've been on holiday, so we've been working a little bit more on it. But now I'm back to work tomorrow, so yeah, weekends it is. So maybe next weekend, maybe in a couple weeks, this will go in, and then we'll probably just half-ass wire it and fire it up. Okay, so we got the motor nicely stripped. Timing chain cover, all the parts there. It does look like we probably will buy a new one, but that's basically a brand new water pump. We could tell by, like, all the bolts came out no problem. So there has been work done on it. Like, there's new gaskets. Like, the oil pan gasket's not factory. It's aftermarket. But this is one reason why we pull things apart, just to check. That's a little bit too much slop for our liking, so we're gonna replace the timing chain cover. Even though we think that that's probably a newish water pump, we're just gonna replace it because even water pumps, when they sit with no water in it, it just, they corrode and leak. So yeah, I'm gonna pull the pan off next. Then give it a quick flip around and take a main, one or two main bearings off. Take a couple just random rod bolt ends off. Check the bearings. If they're good, we'll put it all on. Then I'll start cleaning it. I'm gonna keep the valve covers on for right now, just for cleaning purposes, just so nothing gets in the way. And I'll leave the intake on, and I'll just start scraping the grease off, because we're not gonna take it to a car wash because then it'll just get water everywhere. So I'm gonna do it the old manual way, and scraping it and brake cleaning it. So
I did pull a valve cover off when I
Yeah.
got the motor, and it was nice and clean in there. So
yeah, everything like seems to be decent looking on it. So it's been, the pan gasket's been re-gasketed. All the exhaust manifold bolts didn't break, nothing. They came off easy, so I think it has had some. Someone's been into it, but the timing chain definitely needs.
seen better days than that.
Yep.
That's a pretty bad no-no to me.
Yep.
Start hammering your throttle, or there goes something.
Yep. I could probably skip a tooth just by my fingers almost. So yeah, that'll get replaced. So, which we sort of expected. We'll replace that. The water pump. We'll replace the oil pump. The fuel pump. We're gonna get replaced, and then regasket it, and hopefully that's all we're gonna do. Like, as long as we find the bottom end good, and then
Hope them good for 5 years.
yeah. So
That's the plan.
we'll flip it over. Well, drain the oil.
Yeah.
Drain the oil and flip it over and dump the pan off. Okay, we've got the oil pan off, flipped it over. We just brake cleaned it quickly while it was flipped over, just to get all the excess oil off. We haven't turned it over or anything since we got it. Everything looks good. We shined a flashlight. The cylinders look decent. There's no pits, scratches, and shit. And you can still see some of the old machining, the crosshatch. Yeah, that'd be the word. So I'm just gonna pull off this for now, and then we'll pull off that main bearing and check it out. That was uneventful. Okay. Easy. And hopefully the bearings are good. The cam looked, from the lobes I saw, the cam looked decent.
You can't tell me how many miles?
No. Not that good. This one's a pain in the butt. Oh yeah. might take a little bit more.
Yeah, I usually do hit the bolt down just a bit with the hammerhead, the wooden handle.
Oh, yeah. They're going pretty quickly. Easy. There we go.
See? Then you break it. You're never supposed to use that rag. Seriously,
Who says?
because it scratches the burn surface.
Yeah. I'm not thrilled about that.
Yeah. I was supposed to use a blue shovel because they leave a kerosene deposit and sharpness in there.
We're going to be putting oil on here. Anyway, so. But that,
I don't know.
I'm thinking,
I'm not liking it at all.
yeah, I'm not liking that either. That's all copper.
Yeah.
So your aluminum coating is all gone.
Well, it's a Babbitt coating.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys really look at it, you can see it's heated up very badly. You can see heat marks in it. If you look at it, I can see heat and pitted.
Yeah. So.
Fuck. You heard it.
Looks.
Well, I'll shut the camera down. We'll pull the main bearing off.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yep. Okay, so we've determined that we'll probably be pulling this engine all apart. That's the main bearing. It looks mighty perfect. We pulled off two main bearings, and they look both identical. They look very good for being an old engine. We pulled off 2 rod caps, and they both look worn, very worn, even heated up. They're all just copper. You don't see the silver. So we're guessing we're not gonna put it back together like that. So all the rod needs new all rod bearings. So we'll might as well do all the rod bearings, all the main bearings. So which means everything has to come out. We'll mic the crank, see if the crank needs to be ground. So
and see what the bore is gonna be.
then
like.
the bore, yeah. So the heads are gonna come off now. See if the bore. We don't want to bore it out, but if we have to just hone it, we can do that easily. So yeah, from being just a quick throw it in the truck, not gonna happen. It looks like it's just been, like, it can't be abuse because the main bearings look perfect. I think it's just high mileage on this thing.
High mileage or low in the oil pressure.
Yeah. But then the mains look perfect, so I don't know, maybe they're getting more oil than the rod bearings.
You tell us.
Yeah. There's no like hammer marks on the rod bearings or anything like that, so it's just wear all the way around, like normal. Well, it's not. I would say it's normal wear looking, but it looks almost heated too. So I don't know. Yeah. So
We'll
everything's
pull it
coming off.
apart, mic it, and write all the numbers down.
So we're gonna put the main back on. We're gonna flip it over, pull the head off, and check the bores and see how worn they are.
Yeah.
Alright, we flipped it over and haven't gotten the heads off yet, but the intake's off. It looks fairly clean, like you can, like the cam looks good. Well, it's hard to tell, but in here it looks all clean, like decently clean. The rockers look good, so.
The only thing that picks me out, there's a bit of heat into that cam, but that looks.
Yeah.
But I'm no engine builder, so it looks not bad.
There's a little bit of crusty spots, and that feels like foam.
Foam gasket, rubber.
It's not silicone. It's almost like a foam. Anyways, Yeah.
I guess we'll pull the heads off then.
Pull the rockers off, pull the heads off, and then, yeah. They're going to come off anyways. Pistons are going to come out anyways, so we didn't want to do it, but it's going to happen. Okay, so this engine's pretty much a turd, we found out. We just showed you a rod bearing, and it's basically down, just copper looking. We pulled off a few more. All the rod bearings are the same. They're all showing copper, or all copper. There's no coating at all. It's all gone. The main bearings seem good. They're all good. I saw they might have been replaced, and someone replaced the rod bearings, but didn't grind the crank. I don't know. Something's. And then we pull the piston out. The top ring is very sloppy. It's hard to tell on the camera, but the top rings are. We pulled a couple of pistons out, and they're the same. They're sloppy. Derek measured the bore taper. It's only about 2,000, so not bad, but worn a little bit. Yeah, a couple lifters we can't get them out because there's so much wear or gunk, but that's another thing. But the cam looked decent. Yeah, these that's the rod. I don't know if you can see the rod bearings are in there. They're all copper. Those are just so.
And he's out by about 5,000.
Yeah, so
out around.
If we would have just cleaned it up, stuck it in the truck, it would have eventually. It probably would have made noise from the get-go, but eventually it would just pound out the bearings, and then it would be gone. So we're down to two options: rebuild the entire thing, grind the crank. The heads look decent. We have another set of heads that are decent, so those can be easily done. But bore these out, new pistons, new cam, new lifters, new push rods, new bearings, new timing chain, basically everything except for heads. I think we can do without doing much to the heads. Or we go find another used block and potentially have the same thing. So we probably are going to basically bite the bullet and work on this one. So we may just hone it out. I'm not sure. But we'll probably end up just boring it out 10, 20,000 just because we have to get new pistons anyways, because the pistons are, it's not the rings, it's the actual pistons. So new pistons are in the works anyways, so might as well bore it out. Maybe. Yeah, so new timing chain, new oil pump. Yeah, it's just going to take, right now, we don't want to deal with that, so off to the side it goes until we're actually ready for it, and then we'll deal with it in a month or two. Collect some parts, collect some ideas, but we're sticking with the 318. We have to, because we have the transmission for it and the clutch and all that. That's all. So don't say, oh, stick a 340, 360 in there, because 360 I don't think will work, because I don't know if the balance.
Sure, I'll take a 340.
Yeah, sure, we'll take a 340. We'll modify everything else. But yeah, and definitely no Chevy. So yeah, shit happens, and when you buy used motors, we were told it was running and driving, but who knows? The mufflers could have been off the thing, and they drove it, and they couldn't hear the clacking. So that's what you get for buying used motors.
That timing chain was so bad.
Yes. So yeah, we'll obviously comment, subscribe, tell your friends, and yeah, we'll tell you some updates later, but back to body work.